Have you ever played multiplayer in Hello Kitty Island Adventure and wish there was some kind of minigame that you guys could play together that are not just making it easier than doing it alone, but a lot more interesting and that you could play over and over? There is one now. In Wheatflour Wonderland, there is the hide and seek minigame. You need to have unlocked a little bit of the third tier of the map to be able to reach it, but apparently there are other locations on the map, but we were only able to find one other one that was bugged, but maybe in the future they'll add more or we'll discover the other ones. The host player need to have reached level 25 with Kogemion to unlock this minigame, and you need to go in the sky and seek fast travel location and go on the left and you will meet the Grand Flower and the things on the ground to start playing the game. What is super cool is that you can play with somebody who does not even have the Wheatflour Wonderland DLC or that does not even have reached that level yet, and they can go follow you and play with you. And they can even start getting points that they would be able to eventually redeem if they do get the DLC. If the game ends between 0 and 10 seconds after starting, the hider gets 5 AB points and 5 sparkles, and the seeker gets 10 AB points and 10 sparkles. If the game ends between 20 and 30 seconds, the hider gets 9 AB points and 9 sparkles, and the seeker gets 6 AB points and 6 sparkles. And if the game ends more around the 45 seconds, the hider gets 10 AB points and 10 sparkles, and the seeker 5 AB points and 5 sparkles. Those are approximated time, but the faster the hider is found, the more points the seeker gets, and the longer the hider is found, the more points they get. Basically, that's it. But that means that if you lose, you still get a significant amount of points, and this game is just fun. This is not like, oh, I won, I lost. You don't care about that because you still got a lot of points. At the beginning, you still get a ton of rewards super fast, and so that's just super cool. There are 19 different outfits that you can get. At first, you unlock them every 10 points, then every 20 points, and then every 30 points until you reach 360. And in between, you still get just sparkles, so it's still very good because you can use it for other games where you need game tickets. By the way, for this game, you do not need game tickets. So how do you play it and what is the strategy? Each round, each player can choose if they want to be a hider or a seeker by standing on the appropriate button. The stick is the one who will hide. Your goal as a hider is to change into an object and blend in so that the seeker does not find you in the 45 seconds. At the start of each round, you'll have 10 seconds to go run and find a place. If you run right after you stand on the thing, there's actually a 3-second time where you should both stay on those two platforms, because if you run out of this one, then it actually cancels and you need to start again. So wait until it says go hide. My tip is to hit the button to change into something as soon as you can, so you can see what the object is. And depending on what you get, you can decide to go hide somewhere or somewhere else. So start changing it to something while you're already running, so you don't run into a place and then realize that this item you're changing into is not very well suited for there and you need to change because you only have 10 seconds to hide. You will be able to change into 3 different items. So after the first one, you have 2 more chances, but you cannot go back to the first one. So if your first one is good, go with this one because the last one can be worse. You could be anything from fence to a tree to a bush to a bench to a vine to a pole, many different things, like a whole fountain. Imagine if you put a whole fountain at the side of a cliff with the trees and everything, it will not work. So be sure to stay with the first one that looks okay and that you think that you can hide as. Of course, when you're transformed, you can keep moving, but also that is very visible. So as soon as you find a good spot, I would not move that much. If you're something small and low, like the seal or a bench, you can try actually hiding in the bushes and you'll be totally hidden by the size of the bush. And if you are a bush or a tree, try standing exactly where another tree or another bush is because you could totally fool them. And if you manage to not be found at all during the 45 seconds, you have won. As a seeker, your goal is to find your friend and found where they are and reveal them. And this is how you can win before the time is up. My tip is to, when the person is hiding, go as far as you can in the starting area and wait there, because you'll win the 2 seconds it will take you to go there when you can start running from there. Then you just need to run around and try and find your friend, and try and look at things that seem that they don't belong here, or where the obvious places that you've learned that they can hide. They can hide in any type of things, like flower pots, like trees or fences, or any kind of decoration, or a fountain, a pole, whatever. You need to find what should not be there. And you don't have a limited amount of time that you can try your reveal skill, but there is a cooldown until you can use it again. So don't use it when you're not really sure, because then the cooldown could take too long and then you might not have enough time to finish the round. The hider cannot really go too far in 10 seconds, so I suggest that you start looking for the places around the start area and not rushing through it, not looking, and start looking at the very end places, because probably they would not have the time to have run there anyways. There are 2 things that can help you find your friend. You will find some yellow arrows on the ground depending on where you are. It might not be close to you, but you might hear it, and that will aim you in the direction where the person is hiding, and you just have to walk straight from there and try and find any suspicious object in between the arrow and the end of the map. And sometimes the object your friend is will wiggle for some reason, and that will also help you notice something that might be out of place. And my best tip for both of you, so you can be better as a seeker and as a hider, go outside of the multiplayer mode by yourself and go around these areas that you notice that the minigames are in, and familiarize yourself. Like, oh, there's a fence here, there's only 1 bench here, there's a 1 tree with 2 bushes and not 3 bushes, here the fountain is up there, and look at all the things around these areas to try and remember what it looked like. Some people say that they are visual learners, so make photos that you can have a look at maybe or something, and you can definitely get yourself more familiarized with these locations and know what is there and what should not be there, and that will help you tremendously for your next game. But like I said before, if you win or if you lose, it's just really fun, and sometimes it's so hilarious. The situations that happen, it's just so funny. So I think this is the best game to play in multiplayer, and I really encourage you to try it if you have not. And if you want to come to a live stream and play with me, I would be more than happy. And all the other videos about Wheatflour Wonderland and all the guides will be in the playlist over here. And remember, they're all in early access for my channel members, so if you want to know something now that is not accessible, consider joining the channel memberships, because you'll have a ton of other super cool perks, and I would love to see you in the club. So remember, everybody can play cozy. Bye bye!